I was previously a Canadian national gymnast. On July 15, 2008, I went to a very regular day of training, and my coach, who had been my coach for over 10 years, approached me to do a skill that I had never heard of. It's a dismount leaving the high bar, and it's never been done before in the entire world, but of course, he left out that information. Even though I had a gut feeling that something was wrong, I decided after an hour of going back and forth with him to just trust him. In the second attempt of the skill, I landed head first, breaking my neck and severing my spinal cord, which has left me paralyzed for life and a quadriplegic. First few days and months, actually, it was quite devastating, but I was very lucky to and still have the most incredible support system around me. So I was in Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto for 3 weeks before being transferred over to Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Center, where I spent the next 19 months of my life. After rehab, I went back to high school and fell in love with media production, and that's why I went to Ryerson University in the heart of downtown Toronto and got my Bachelor of Arts in Radio and Television Arts Production. During university, I had the opportunity to do 2 internships, and that's when I really realized that I loved doing what I did, but the environment wasn't set up for somebody with a disability. And so I took things into my own hands and decided that if I wanted to continue to be a storyteller, I'd have to do so through a podcast.
Brew some tea and then spill it.
Which was my opportunity to interview the people I wanted to talk to over a cup of tea. On November 26, 2018, I launched Cup of Tea, luxury loose leaf teas online, and since then we've had a lot of success. We have been on Oprah's Favorite Things list and the Oscar and Grammy gift bags. We've supplied tea to Steven Spielberg's entire team for Christmas, and we have opened up a cafe here in Toronto. As much as I love my business, I still have a love for media, and the idea kind of sparked that we should document the process of somebody with accessibility needs navigating a world-class city like Toronto. And so I started doing accessibility reviews, posting them on TikTok and Instagram. It started out initially with just doing reviews of restaurants and public spaces, but it really has blossomed beyond that. We landed at 6 o'clock. It is now 6:45. I am still on the plane. As you can see, if you take a look around, nobody's here. I wanted to really tackle the airline industry because it is so important that travel becomes easier for those with disabilities. But beyond that, I want to showcase that people with disabilities are multifaceted. We're happy, we go out, we have friends, we have relationships, and so I talk about all of these different topics and to help break down stereotypes about those living with disabilities. The Be Perfect community means the world to me. I think that representation is so important, and currently in Toronto, I don't have a lot of friends who are in wheelchairs. So when I go out to California, I'm surrounded by people with the same lived experiences. I can learn from them, we can laugh about things, we can talk about the hard things, and they get what I'm going through. And that's another reason why I started doing social media and sharing my story, and even if it's as simple as showing an adaptive utensil that I'm using, because I know that there's people around the world who don't have a community that might be able to learn something from my videos and be able to feel less alone. I think so often we are scared that if we acknowledge our pain, we won't be able to move past it, but it's actually only when you acknowledge and work through the hard things that you can make it to the other side. I never would have thought 15 years ago that I'd be living such a fulfilled life, and I know that especially at the beginning, it can be so dark and so hard, but I promise you that if you are committed and stay hopeful, there is another side to this, and there is a life that can be lived. Really be able to change the world just by living your best life.